For those who think English is an easy language, and or for those who have an interest in Western European languages, we're going to take a quick tour, probably the fastest you've ever seen in terms of learning foreign languages. Let's start with English. English, if you'll notice, there's no colors here, as we will see. It's very simple. One of the things I like to point out is memory tricks. There's a parity check. In English, there's either an S or an S, never two, never zero. If you are talking in the singular, you will note the car is, the car was, the S is on the verb. Or if you're talking in the plural, the cars are, the cars were, the S is on the noun. One place or the other, never the both. And that's about it. Our next language on our Western European tour is la langue française, the French language. And we start to see the colors here where the blue is masculine and the pink is feminine and the darker is the plural. And among the noted differences is the adjectives follow the noun, unlike English and German, which, if you think about it, actually makes a little more sense. And the verbs are specific to each and every one of the subjects. And the pronouns, especially those that are indirect, meaning that somebody gives somebody something, will precede the verb. And the nature of the endings are such that, well, you just got to kind of look at them and memorize them, put them on a sheet opposite the morning throne or on a cereal box or next to the TV, and you'd be amazed what an effective method it is to learn the language. A couple of things to note is that in French, only the masculine takes contractions with prepositions. That's the same as in Spanish. So one of the tips I would like to offer is that when going into a vowel, you pronounce the ending letters, but otherwise you almost never pronounce the ending letters with the exception of words that end in US, like campus and autobus. Okay? Dakodak. For Germanic-speaking countries, starting from the northwest to the southeast, I'd like to say Moyens, Moyen, Halole, Grüß Gott, Grüezi, und Servus. German, as Mark Twain noted, is that awful language. It's a Rubik's Cube. What I've done here is trying to show some mnemonic tricks as to how to, at least to get a handle on it. One of the tricks is to notice that they tend to pair up so that it's either here or here. It's like plumbing, connections. You either have a connector here or a connector here, never two, never zero, usually. Notice the der words, the R is always somewhere hanging around. The das words, those are, they have no sex, like a little girl. That's right, Mädchen, a little girl. The S is one place or the other. And this is what we're looking at is what's called the direct object, the accusative, meaning I give him the stuff. Here is the second of our three quick German grammar summaries. And this is what's called the indirect object, or as they call it, the dative, meaning I'm giving something to someone, so you got to keep track of the something and the someone. And, it's out from or with or toward or of or to something. And the plural, which is different than the Romance languages, is the same for whether it's masculine, feminine, or neuter. And those almost always have ENs all over the place. And you'll notice that in the case of the masculine, feminine, and the neuter in the third person, he, she, it, you got to track them all the way across. In German, there are far more than what's shown here, but a couple of tricks are, if the words end in certain endings, you can tell, not always, how they are structured. And German should be presented with a presentation of the possessive, or if you like, the genitive case, meaning, of its or of theirs, etc. And these are the cases where you would like to be able to do a shorthand where you're referring to somebody else's thing, which in most other languages you would make in a direct construction, but in German, being German, means that you are constructing the reference using their rules, but always in a contracted sense. And again, that always changes with the concept of German, wherein, again, whenever something changes, the word before and after, unlike any other Western European language, changes the meaning you really have to go through and give it a two-pass analysis for the word before and the word after. Nella lingua italiana, the Italian language, and its grammar rules, which are very much similar to that of Portuguese, has unique aspects, among which are they almost always keep the definite article along with any adjective. So you would say, for example, la mia macchina, my automobile, la sua casa, your house. Another one is the contractions from prepositions are particularly unique in Italian in that they depend upon whether the word following starts with a vowel or a s, ch, z sound or a hard consonant. Italian, like all the Romance languages, has 6 different versions of the verb, and you again just gotta get them down and have them under your belt. Notice, if you will, that the endings are such that you go from masculine O to E and the feminine A to A. And if you just make everything rhyme, as a rule, not always, that'll kind of get you halfway there. Portuguese, like Italian, keeps the definite article in almost all instances and contracts both the masculine and feminine, unlike Spanish and French, which does contractions only for the masculine. The Portuguese pronunciation does differ, with southern Brazil having an accent, sotaque, where the various sounds, the R becomes an H and the T becomes a ch sound. So you might say boa noite in southern Brazil, but boa noite if you were in Portugal. In Portuguese, the endings are such that they differ, but not often. But you might say miu for my thing, but plural mius. But in the case of the feminine, it would be minha and minhas. In Spanish, or more correctly, if you are in Spain, Castellano, which is differentiated from Gallego, which is the Portuguese dialect in Galicia, and Català in Catalonia, which is its own set of grammar rules, not unlike that halfway between Spanish and French in, say, Barcelona. And in Spanish, they contract the masculine prepositions and omit the pronouns, unlike any other Romance language, and it's probably the easiest to learn for a Western European. And I will note that the variances in terms of Argentinian and Latin American and Spanish from Spain are varied just as much as, say, from someone who might speak, say, American in Texas versus, say, Scottish in the British Isles.